I used to believe success wakes up early, that if you're not up before sunrise, you're already late. But then I noticed something. Some people rise with the sun. Others rise when the world sleeps. So tell me, is productivity about the clock or about energy? Stay with me. Let me tell you why this question changed how I work. This debate exists because the world loves simple answers. Wake up early, grind harder, win at life. That story sounds good. It feels clean. It feels powerful. But it's not the full truth. Somewhere along the way, productivity stopped being about results and started being about time. Who wakes up first? Who sleeps last? Who looks busy? We built a culture that worships mornings. Sunrise photos, cold showers, 5 a.m. alarms like badges of honor. And if you don't fit that picture, you feel lazy, behind, broken. But here's the uncomfortable part no one likes to say out loud. Looking disciplined is easier than being effective. Most people don't wake up early to do deep work. They wake up early to feel productive. Emails, notifications, noise, motion without progress. And then there's the other side, the night people. Quiet minds, ideas flowing at midnight. They're told they're undisciplined. That sleeping late means failing early. So they force themselves into routines that kill their best hours. Why does this argument keep coming back? Because everyone is copying everyone else. We see successful people. We copy their schedules. But we ignore their energy, their context, their biology. I've seen people work 16 hours and do nothing. I've seen people work 4 hours and change everything. The truth is, the world doesn't reward effort. It rewards impact. And that brings us to the real question, not morning or night, but when does your mind actually wake up? Because once you understand that, everything changes. The morning person story is powerful. Wake up early. Win the day. That's what we're told. The sun rises, the world feels quiet. And your brain thinks, I'm ahead. Mornings feel clean. No noise, no chaos, no excuses. Your phone is silent. Your mind feels sharp. Your willpower feels strong. And for some people, this is real power. In the morning, discipline is easier. The world hasn't pulled you in yet. Decisions feel lighter. Focus feels possible. That's why early risers look unstoppable. They plan. They exercise. They attack the day before it fights back. But here's the truth most people skip. Mornings don't make you productive. Energy does. Some people wake up early and do deep work. Others wake up early and just stay busy. Same alarm. Very different results. The morning routine became a symbol, not a solution. It looks good online. It feels good to say, I wake up at 5 a.m. But waking up early without clarity is just being tired sooner. And yet, society keeps pushing this story because mornings are visible. They're easy to sell, easy to praise. But the real question is dangerous. What if mornings only work for some minds? What if forcing yourself into sunrise discipline is actually stealing your best hours? Once you ask that, the morning myth starts to crack. And that's where the night begins to speak. Being a morning person sounds powerful. Early alarms, quiet streets, coffee before sunrise. It looks like discipline. But here's the dark side no one posts. Waking up early does not mean you're doing important work. It just means you're awake. And many people confuse the two. I've seen this happen again and again. People wake up tired. They rush into routines they copied from someone else. Workout, journal, check messages, scroll. Hours pass. Nothing meaningful is created. Early mornings can become a trap. You feel ahead before you've actually moved forward. The biggest danger? Fake productivity. Busy tasks feel good in the morning. Emails, meetings, planning. They give you quick wins, but they steal your deep focus. And then there's burnout. When you force your body to wake up before it's ready, your energy leaks all day long. You're awake but not sharp, moving but not thinking. Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they follow routines that don't fit them. I've seen talented people lose confidence because mornings drained them. They thought something was wrong with them. Nothing was wrong. The schedule was. Morning discipline without energy becomes punishment. And punishment never builds greatness, so ask yourself this, are you waking up early to win or just to look like you are? Because if mornings aren't your power zone, forcing them could be the very thing holding you back. And that leads us to the other side of the story. Let me tell you something about the night. When the world goes quiet, some minds finally wake up. Night owls don't get energy from the clock. They get it from silence. No meetings, no messages, no one asking for your attention, just you and your thoughts. This is when the noise disappears and focus walks in. For night owls, the brain doesn't rush. It goes deep. Ideas connect. Creativity breathes. That's why many artists, writers, and thinkers come alive after dark. The night doesn't pressure them. It frees them. But here's what most people don't understand. Night owls are not lazy. They are delayed. Their energy clock runs differently. Their mind warms up slowly, and then suddenly, it's on fire. When others feel tired, night owls feel sharp. When the world sleeps, their brain starts sprinting. But society doesn't see this. Society only sees the wake-up time, not the work done at midnight. So night owls grow up feeling wrong, like they're fighting the system, like success wasn't designed for them. And that pressure, it breaks focus. It steals confidence. Still, when a night owl stops apologizing and starts working with their rhythm, magic happens. Hours feel like minutes. Work feels like flow. Results start showing. But there's a cost to this power. A price most people ignore, because not every night creates focus, and not every late hour creates progress. So the real question becomes, when does night work turn into strength, and when does it turn into self-destruction? That's what we need to talk about next. Being a night owl looks powerful from the outside. Quiet room, dark sky, big ideas at midnight. But there's a price nobody warns you about. The world is not built for you. Schools start early. Jobs start early. Life starts early. So every night owl grows up feeling late. Late to class. Late to meetings. Late to expectations. People don't see your focus at 2 a.m. They see your tired face at 9. And they judge. You start questioning yourself. Why can't I be normal? Why can't I just sleep early? So you fight your own brain. You force alarms. You force routines. And slowly your edge disappears. Another hidden cost. Loneliness. When you work at night, the world is asleep. No praise, no applause. Just you and your thoughts. That silence can build greatness, or it can eat you alive. And discipline. Night owls are called lazy, but staying focused while everyone sleeps takes strength most people never test. Still, there's a danger here. Late nights can turn into chaos. Sleep debt piles up. Energy drops. Focus cracks. What started as deep work becomes survival mode. The truth is hard to hear. Being a night owl is not an excuse. It's a responsibility. You must protect your sleep. You must control your nights, or your nights will control you, because the real enemy isn't the clock, it's burnout. And that's exactly what we need to talk about next. Your body has a clock. Not the one on your wall. Not the one on your phone. A real clock. Deep inside. Ticking. Guiding. Scientists call it a chronotype. It decides when your brain wakes up. When your focus is sharp. When your ideas ignite. Some of us are built to rise with the sun. Energy floods our mind at dawn. Creativity, focus, clarity all ready by breakfast. Others, they shine when the world sleeps. Midnight whisper, fuel their thoughts. Quiet hours sharpen their genius. Here's the truth most people ignore. You cannot fight your biology. Force yourself awake when your brain says sleep. You'll drag through hours. Mistakes, frustration, wasted time. Push yourself to work at night if you're built for mornings. Same story. Burnout, regret. Chronotypes are not excuses. They're tools. Learn them, respect them, work with them. This is the key nobody talks about. Productivity is not about time. It's about your natural rhythm. And here's the part that changed everything for me. The moment I stopped fighting my own clock, I discovered the secret that made all my work unstoppable. I learned something very early in my life. It is not about the hours you work. It is not about waking up at 5 a.m. or staying up all night. I saw many people work long hours, exhausted, busy, stressed, and yet they achieved little. They confused motion with progress, effort with impact. For me, productivity is about energy, not the clock. When I feel sharp, I work. When I feel tired, I rest. I follow my strengths, not society's schedule. I don't fight my natural rhythm, I use it. Some days I am alive at dawn. Other days ideas hit me at midnight. I don't care what time it is. I care about results, about making an impact. Many people ask me, Jack, should I wake up early? I say, wake up when you are ready to do your best work, not when the world says you should. Because once you honor your energy, your focus multiplies. Your work stops being hard, it becomes unstoppable. And this is where most people fail. They copy routines instead of discovering their own power. Let me show you what that really means. I've asked myself this question many times. Morning or night, which one wins? Here's what I learned. There is no universal winner. No golden hour that guarantees success. The world loves to make it a race. Early birds versus night owls. But I've seen both rise to the top. Morning people, they strike fast. Clear mind. Energy high. The sun rises and they're already ahead. Discipline, routine, focus, they make the hours count. Night owls. They strike deep. Quiet hours, endless thoughts, ideas forming in silence. While the world sleeps, their minds work. Creativity, strategy, insight, they explode at midnight. The truth is this. Success doesn't care what time you wake up. It cares about how you use the hours you have. It cares about alignment. About knowing your strength and attacking from there. Copying someone else's schedule. Dangerous. Your clock, your energy, your brain, they are yours. Fight them and you lose. Work with them and you dominate. So, who wins? The one who knows themselves. The one who harnesses their peak hours. And that is where most people fail until they discover their real secret window of power. Let me tell you the truth about productivity. It's not the clock. It's not the hours you sit. It's not even the early alarms or the late nights. Real productivity is simple. Energy over time. You need to work when your mind is awake, not when society says you should. Focus beats hours every single time. 4 hours of sharp, unstoppable focus will crush 16 hours of distracted motion. Distraction is the silent killer of dreams. Consistency matters more than motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Energy comes and goes. But showing up, understanding your peak hours, and using them that creates results. I've seen people wake up at 5 a.m. and achieve nothing. I've seen others stay up past midnight and change everything. So here's the lesson I want you to take. Stop copying routines. Stop worshiping the clock. Find your rhythm. Protect it. Own it. Once you understand your real productivity formula, you're not just working, you're winning. And that leads us to the biggest question of all. How do you find your true peak hours? Finding your peak productivity isn't about copying me or anyone else. It's about watching yourself. Notice when your mind feels sharp. When ideas flow. When work feels easy, not forced. For some, it's sunrise. For others, it's past midnight. Ignore the clock. Focus on energy. That is your real guide. Track it. A simple notebook or your phone. Write down when you feel unstoppable. When distractions vanish. When results come without struggle. Then guard that time. Protect it like treasure. No calls. No scrolling. No excuses. This is your golden hour. This is when your work changes from ordinary to extraordinary. And remember, it doesn't have to be long. An hour of your peak beats 8 hours of low energy. Your mind is a machine. Your energy is fuel. Use it wisely. Once you discover your window, everything shifts. Your schedule, your output, your life. But here's the thing, most people never find it. They waste it. They fight against themselves. So the next question is, how do we actually protect and multiply these hours to create real impact? I learned something simple, but most people never see it. Success isn't about waking early. It isn't about staying up late. It's about knowing yourself. I've watched people copy routines that don't fit them. They force mornings when their mind wakes at night. They push through afternoons when energy is gone. They measure hours, not results. I don't care if you work 5 hours or 15. What matters is when you are fully alive, when your mind is sharp, when your energy is at its peak. That's when real work, real creation, real impact happens. I built my life around this truth. I followed my rhythm, not the world's clock. I worked when my mind said go, rested when it said stop. And that's why I could give my best work, not just long hours. So here's my final advice. Don't copy someone else's clock. Discover your own peak hours. Protect them. Use them. Because the moment you align with your energy, you stop chasing time and start chasing greatness.